Hello friends, Mandar here. I'm back with another video. Today we'll talk about the proposed H1B overhaul that is in the TOT. What are the important proposals in it and how is it beneficial to the new H1B applicant? You know, I always talk about multiple topics. I'll talk about EB2 NIW and some misconceptions about it. I'll also talk about what happens when one of the applicants in the green card process does not get their green card and are put back into the 485. What are their options? And some questions related to EB1C and EB1A. So a lot of packed content, guys. Watch this video until the end and let's get started. If you are here for the first time, welcome. My name is Mandar and I make immigration and lifestyle related videos for US and Canada. I'm not an immigration lawyer, so anything that I say on this video or on my channel is for information purpose only. And for your specific immigration needs, before you take any action, you should hire a competent immigration lawyer. Now, first of all, happy Vijayadashmi, happy Dasara to whoever is celebrating it. It is an auspicious day, so if you have done any good work today or if you start a new work, that is going to help you in life and help progress. So wish you all the best on this auspicious day. Also check out the links in the description because those are affiliate links and you might find something interesting and it will also help the channel. And while you are down there, do hit the like button. Remember, my giveaway is still on. Like and comment and subscribe to the channel and you will be entered into the giveaway. Now let's go into the first topic of the day, H1B overhaul. Now USCIS has published that it is planning to do the H1B overhaul and it has proposed some changes. Now this is what they have proposed. This is just in the proposal stage. It is not into effect yet and it will take a long time to take into effect. I'll come to what is the process and when it might get approved, but let's look at what are the clauses in it. In my opinion, some clauses are just minor tweaks, but some other ones are going to be a little bit more beneficial to the H1B applicants. Again, this is just a policy change. It is not a law change by the Congress. So law remains the same, H1B law remains the same, the regulations remain the same. The only proposal here is how do they interpret and how they are going to implement the H1B selection process and so on. So let's look at the few important points from this proposal. Now they call it H1B revamp, but I don't think it much of a revamp. It is just procedural change or policy changes that I am looking at. You can tell me if I'm wrong, if there are any significant things that they are proposing in this proposal. I just think they are making tweaks in the way they are going to select the H1Bs and have the criteria to assess them or adjudicate them. Now in the last 2 years, in the lottery system that they had in the 1st of April, there was a lot of fraud. There were hundreds of thousands of applicants that were multiply filed. So say for instance, there is a candidate, say student candidate, who is working in STEM and they are going through their 3-year OPT. Now they did not get the H1B in the first year, second year. Now they are desperate to get the H1B in their 3rd attempt because that would be the last attempt before their OPT runs out. Now what do? They approach multiple employers, maybe some consultants, and get some multiple job offers. Now they ask all of those employers to submit a petition on their behalf. Now submitting a petition does not take much because it's just a $10 fee and to get you into the process. Now due to this, what has happened is the actual number of applicants in the first round reached 600 to 700,000 applicants and most of them were duplicates or even multiple times. I heard that some people applied through 15 to 20 different employers to get through the process. Now this really bogs down the system and it's complete fraud. Nobody has 15 job offers at a time. I can believe they have 2 or 3 at a time, but anything more than that is highly rare and impossible. So for some people to apply so many times, it's just unfair for the rest of them. So they are going to reduce this fraud by implementing some new process in the upcoming year for the H1B lottery. So what that is going to be is not yet clarified, but my speculation is although they will allow multiple applications by a single candidate, they will have a provision to tie them together. So when the approval is done for certain individual, the approval will be given for only one. So they may select the individual and not the case. In the second round, they will ask the individual to select one single employer through which they intend to do the job or the one that is legitimate offer. So that way the fraud will be reduced significantly. Now there are some other provisions in the specialty occupation degree. So the way they are going to interpret how qualified are you for a specialty job based on your education and based on your experience. So they will make some criterias. In my opinion, the way I read it is they are relaxing those criterias. It will make it easier for the adjudicator to determine if an individual has specialty skills. Now they have made some interesting changes to the third party requirement. So say for instance you are working for an employer and who has a client, end client. Now if the end client is already a big client who is already somebody like a big tech or a big pharma who has a clear-cut vetting process or a selection process, they are going to assume that your qualifications meet specialty occupation. They can easily determine this from the job offer or the job posting on the internet. So that is something that will help. Now another interesting thing is they will not have limited validity. Now in the past, during these such situations where you had the end client, they would only give the H1B validity until the end of the contract. So they are going to remove that. They are going to give the H1B for 1 year, 2 years or 3 years, whatever the duration may be, but it won't be tied to the end of the contract. There is a lot said about the site visits. Now site visits in the past used to be optional for the employer or the petitioner to entertain. They could easily say that we are within our rights to not cooperate with you. Now that is going to change. They are going to probably make some regulations, stricter regulations to get information out of the employer whether the employee is still working there or at the client location. And they will have some clear implications if the employer or the petitioner does not cooperate. So that is going to be significant. We'll see how it can be enforced, and that is the execution part on behalf of USCIS. Now the biggest one in my opinion in this regulation or in this proposal is going to be the way somebody can apply for H1B. Now in the past you had to be working for a big employer who can file a petition on your behalf to qualify you for H1B. And in this proposal what they are saying is you can open up your own company, become an employee of that same company and file for your own petition on behalf of that company that you already own. There are certain things. You have to be beneficiary owned petitioner, you have to own the company more than 50%, and you have to work in specialty occupation or specialty skills for majority of your time. So you cannot be saying that since I own the company, all I am doing is management of the company. No, that won't qualify you for an H1B. You'll have to say that I'm working in the specialty skills as a majority of my work and only certain portion goes towards managing the company. Now I'm not sure how somebody can prove that, what are the documentation that you can submit in order to prove that, but it is interesting proposal. Now I can see a lot of loopholes being used in this particular provision if that comes into effect. Tell me in the comment section below, what do you think about this particular one, being able to sponsor your own H1B by opening a company. It will also have some implications on employment based green card, and I will tell you those in my next video because it's a big chapter. There are also some provisions made for cap gap. Instead of having it for end of September, the cap gap will be considered until 1st of April of next year. So this will be a big relief for the students. And another important thing that I also found it interesting is now employees will also be notified about their progress in the case if their application gets selected or gets approved. Currently what happens is only the employer and their lawyer gets a notification regarding your H1B approvals and such. In this new proposal they are saying even the employee will be notified, which is a good thing. Now will you call this an H1B overhaul? In my opinion, I don't think so. But leave down in the comment section below, do you find this interesting, significant enough that this is a H1B overhaul? So I know for sure that some of you are interested in stock trading, day trading, buying cryptocurrencies. I want to present you Webull. Webull is a trading platform. It allows you to buy stock, it allows you to buy options, do options trading, and also it allows you to buy cryptocurrency. Webull 9 was released with a brand new home and market page, asset page and economic calendar. Also Webull Cash Management was launched with 5.8% API with no fees attached and no minimum balance and unlimited withdrawals. This is amazing. New Webull USA users can still enjoy 5.8% APY and gift up to 12 free stocks when making an initial deposit of each is valued between $3 and $3,000. Feel free to take advantage of this. Join through my link and you will get those free stocks. Now let's talk about some EB2 NIW national interest waiver, some misconceptions. So I got some questions regarding this particular category. Now there are two categories in employment based section that are self-petitioning. Actually there are more if you count EB5 as well. But in the EB1, EB2 and EB3 employment based, you only have two of them that you can self-petition. One is EB1A and second one is EB2 NIW, national interest waiver. Now some people say I am in the backlog, I have an EB2 or EB3 application and the date is not current and it may not become current for a significant amount of time in the future. Can I apply for self-petition myself for EB2 NIW? Will it help? I say no, because EB2 NIW, although it is self-petitioning, although it will help you apply for that particular visa category without the help of your employer, it doesn't help you in any way, because EB2, it's still EB2. It still has the same priority date as the entire rest of the EB2 category. So it's not going to give you any benefit other than the fact that it will help you file another separate application by yourself. Now EB2 NIW also has some specific things that you need to be aware of. Whatever work you are doing or whatever project you are working on or whatever significant contribution that you are making, it needs to be in the national interest. Now how do you define national interest? There are certain provisions that are specified in USCIS, in the USCIS procedure, that will tell you what exactly those are. Now it is a very broad category and it is open for interpretation. You'll have to work with a lawyer to establish that the work that you are doing is in the national interest. So think about it. In fact, I would recommend going for EB1A or EB1C. EB1C category is pretty straightforward. If you don't qualify for that non-US entity managerial capacity experience, then you are out of luck. Either you will have to go out of US, stay out of US for 1 year and then come back, and that to work for a non-US entity in a managerial capacity to become eligible for EB1C. So that is a very straightforward category. EB1A is that I have been helping people understand through my calls. If you want to reach out to me, do check out my Calendly availability and book a call with me, and I will be happy to tell you about my experience talking to other people about EB1A in particular. You can also contact me on my Patreon. Now the last topic I wanted to cover is there are some instances where people's green cards are getting adjudicated as a family, but one of the family members does not get the green card. So if the family of 4 is, say, husband, wife and 2 kids, the primary petitioner may get and the kids will get, but the other spouse may not get their green card for whatever reason. Now remember, the 485 stage is your background check and it is an individual applications. Although they are filed at the same time as a family, they are assessed separately for background check. So if there are any issues in one particular family member's history, one example could be overstaying, that could become a problem for that particular individual. That does not hold up the approval process for the rest of the family members. So rest of the family members may get their green card, but one individual may not get their green card. Now what happens in that situation? So if the primary applicant has already got their green card and if the derivative has not got their green card, they fall back into the 485 stage or adjustment of status. You should make sure that you have an EAD and advance payroll secured for that individual so that they can continue to work and continue to live in the United States. Now if the date is still current, it's just a matter of reprocessing or waiting for the processing to complete before that individual gets their green card. But if the date has retrogressed, then the individual will have to wait until their date becomes current in order to get their green card. Or you might also want to consider filing I-130 for that individual as a spouse, because the primary applicant has already got their green card. You might be able to apply I-140 for the spouse who has not got their green card. And this will be in parallel to the existing employment based adjustment of status that they still have active. So 130 will be processed in parallel, and if it's processed faster, they may get their green card sooner. If you have this kind of situation, do contact me and I can provide you my thoughts. So that's really all I wanted to say in this video. If you like the content of this video, hit the like button, leave a comment, you'll be entered into the giveaway. Also subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.